Serialization of the Zany Time Travels of Warble McGorkle, Chapter 24 of 61. Davy Crockett serves as mediator between Warble and Tanglefoot Popskull. After making sure Ward is ready to take a picture of him in action, Warble addresses the ragtag group of defenders. "Never fear, McGorkle is here," he bellows out, spreading his arms wide at his side and turning himself slowly in a circle for the entire congregation of Texicans to admire. Or so he thinks, anyway. Warble spots an old-timer in the assembled throng who bears an uncanny resemblance to Uncle Joe in the old TV show Petticoat Junction. Warble assumes he must be the company cook, and addresses him specifically. "Set all your pots to boiling and fire up all your frying pans, Cookie. We're going to serve up a mighty nice culinary welcome to those invading hordes from across the border. After we're done with them, they'll never want to see the old red, white, and blue, not to mention the Lone Star or the about-to-be-stepped-on rattlesnake ever again." "Who you callin' Cookie, stranger? I'm the sergeant of arms here, and don't you forget it," the man says, whose name happens to be not Joe or anything remotely similar to Joe, but rather Tanglefoot Popskull. "Pardon me, but if you're a sergeant, where are your stripes?" Warble inquires, dubious of the man's claim to officership. "I'll give you some stripes if you don't mind your tongue, stranger," Tanglefoot threatens. Davy Crockett, who is grinning from ear to ear, pulls his sergeant of arms aside and whispers to him, "Lay along with them, Tanglefoot. At the very least, these fellows are going to be good for a laugh, and if worse comes to worse, we can just bash them all in the noggin and chuck them over the side. Except the women folks, of course. We'll keep them around to cook our victuals and boil our duds for us, and to advise us when we get dressed in the mornings which gun belt goes best with which buckskin vest. You gotta be stylish when it comes to this here history making, you know. Anyway, just pretend you're the head cook and get some of the boys to help you." Tanglefoot is on the verge of reluctantly acquiescing when Warble comes up and pokes him in the shoulder. "Say, who's giving the orders around here? I told you, you mangy old geezer, to get cracking." Tanglefoot's quick temper gets the best of him, and he rears back and is about to send Warble reeling with a back-loaded roundhouse punch. But Crockett prevents this by grabbing Tanglefoot's arm, slowly moving it back down to his side, and putting his hands on his friend's shoulders, turning him around, whispering in his ear, and reminding him just to play along for now. Tanglefoot harumphs, squares his shoulders, and marches 3 steps away to the center of the Alamo's rooftop. "Flapjack, Zanzibar, Willie, huddle up. We've got a job to do." Flapjack Wormcastle, the real cook, Zanzibar Ricochet, and Willie Nelson Miles Standish gather around, a combination of mischievous anticipation and dubious dread displayed by their countenances. "You heard the man," Tanglefoot growls, simultaneously jerking his thumb over his shoulder, indicating Warble, and rolling his eyes. "Fire up the cauldrons and the frying pans." The colorful trio look at one another, shrug their shoulders, and ask, "What for, Tanglefoot? We done just had our morning victuals." Before Tanglefoot can ask for a reason for the seemingly unnecessary order, Warble beats him to the punch and steps into the breach. "Cook up as much hot Texas chili as you can in the pots, and scads of extra-large doughnuts in the frying pans, boys. We're going to give those south of the border desperados a welcome they'll never forget."